The slap echoed through the cabin like a thunderclap, silencing the hum of the plane. Eleanor Washington, 72, sat motionless, her cheeks stinging, as every eye turned to the first-class section. It was Flight 472, a red-eye from Atlanta to Chicago, and the cabin was a pressure cooker of exhaustion and impatience. Eleanor, dressed in a simple navy blazer, had boarded quietly, her silver hair pulled into a neat bun. She carried no airs, just a leather satchel and a calm that belied her stature. No one, least of all the flight attendant, Karen Mitchell, knew that Eleanor owned Horizon Airways, the very plane they were on. Karen, 34, was having a bad day. A delayed flight, a spilled coffee, and a passenger's complaint about a crying baby had frayed her nerves. When Eleanor politely asked for a glass of water, her voice soft but firm, Karen snapped. "Ma'am, you need to wait your turn," she barked, though no one else was waiting. Eleanor's request was simple, but to Karen, it was defiance. Something about Eleanor's quiet confidence, her dark skin, her unapologetic presence in first class, set Karen off. The exchange escalated. Words turned sharp. Then, in a moment of reckless fury, Karen's hand flew, striking Eleanor's face. Gasps erupted. A businessman dropped his laptop. A teenager fumbled for her phone, recording. Eleanor didn't flinch. She touched her cheek, her eyes locking onto Karen's with a piercing calm. "You don't know who I am," she said, her voice steady, cutting through the chaos. Karen scoffed, emboldened by her uniform's authority. "I don't care who you are. You don't belong here." The words hung heavy, laced with a venom that made passengers shift uncomfortably. The cabin felt smaller, the air thicker. A young black girl in coach clutched her mother's hand, eyes wide with fear. Eleanor's life had been a masterclass in overcoming. Born in a segregated Alabama town, she'd clawed her way through a world that tried to keep her small. She built Horizon Airways from a single chartered plane, turning it into a multi-million-dollar empire. She'd faced slurs, slammed doors, and worse, but never a public humiliation like this. Yet, she sat taller, her silence louder than Karen's outburst. The co-pilot, alerted by the commotion, emerged from the cockpit. "What's going on?" he demanded. Karen, flustered, pointed at Eleanor. She was disruptive, refusing to follow instructions. The lie was flimsy, unraveling as passengers murmured dissent. A woman in a red scarf spoke up. "That's not true. She just asked for water." Eleanor raised a hand, silencing the murmurs. "Call your CEO," she said to the co-pilot, her tone unshaken. Karen laughed, a brittle sound. "You think you can just call the CEO?" The co-pilot hesitated, then dialed. The cabin held its breath. Minutes later, the co-pilot's face paled as he listened to the voice on the phone. He handed it to Eleanor. "It's for you, Ms. Washington." Karen's smirk vanished. Eleanor took the phone, her voice low but clear. "Yes, this is Eleanor Washington. I'm on Flight 472. We have a situation." The truth landed like a sledgehammer. Karen's face drained of color as the co-pilot whispered, "She owns Horizon." Passengers exchanged stunned glances. The teenager's video was already uploading to X, the caption reading, "Flight attendant slaps airline owner." The post would go viral within hours. Eleanor stood, her presence commanding. "I built this airline to lift people up, not tear them down," she said, her eyes on Karen. "You judged me by my skin, not my character. That's a choice you'll answer for." Karen stammered, but no words came. The weight of her actions crashed over her. The plane landed in Chicago to a swarm of reporters. Eleanor, ever composed, declined to press charges. Instead, she issued a statement through Horizon's PR team. "We rise by respecting each other. Horizon Airways will retrain every employee on dignity and accountability." Karen was suspended, her career in tatters. The viral video sparked a national conversation, with X posts flooding in, some praising Eleanor's grace, others decrying the racism she endured. Eleanor didn't revel in the fallout. She spent the next day in her Chicago office, mentoring a young black intern, teaching her to navigate a world that could be unkind but never unconquerable. Your worth isn't in their eyes, she told the girl. It's in what you build. The incident faded from headlines, but its ripples endured. Horizon Airways launched a diversity initiative funded by Eleanor herself. Passengers on Flight 472 never forgot the woman who turned a slap into a lesson. And Eleanor? She kept flying, her satchel in hand, her dignity unshaken, a quiet force proving that true power lies in rising above. Thank you for listening. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to follow the next stories.